here on Screensport. Well, this semi-final, second leg, the scores at the moment stand as follows. Sweden have a 1-point advantage over America. It's Sweden 38, the USA 37, Australia 23, and Germany 22. And just one nation will go through. Mariestad is the setting. There we see in yellow and black Jimmy Nilsson of Sweden coming out for heat number 1. Sam Ermolenko there in blue for the US of A. So the full lineup for this very important opening race, with Sweden holding just 1-point advantage, is Craig Boyce for Australia. He's in red. Sam Ermolenko for America. He's in blue. Tommy Dunker is in white for Germany. And Jimmy Nilsson is in yellow and black for Sweden. So still all to ride for three of these nations. I would think that Germany would be not quite in contention for pole position, but one other fact it's worth mentioning is the bottom nation of these four would drop down to the Group B in 1991. So for Australia, it's desperately for them to try and keep Germany down in 4th place. But there we see in red, it's Craig Boyce, a rider really setting the sights on a British League place in 1991. He's doing great work for Paul in the National League in 1990. Are already National League champions of 1989, and well, there's not many people who wouldn't put money on them making it 2 National League trophies in successive years. Well, certainly Australia are proving a force to be reckoned with in the last couple of years, with Todd Wiltshire and Lee Adams stamping their authority in the Sunbright League. There we see confirmation of the lineup. Boyce red, Ermolenko blue, Nilsson yellow and black, and Dunker in white. Is heat number 1 gets underway, and they drive straight away to the first turn. And there's a rider in red, Craig Boyce, who's there just ahead of Sam Ermolenko. Jimmy Nilsson now just about rounding Tommy Dunker for 3rd place. But my word, what a great start for the rider in red, Craig Boyce. Boyce, even 1 lap gone, is in pole position. 2nd place in blue is Sam Ermolenko. Jimmy Nilsson 3rd. All action on this very fast and furious Mariestad circuit. Of course, Mariestad doing very, very well, of course, in the Swedish Elite League. At the moment, challenging for the title in 1990, along with near neighbours Kumla. And Boyce, Craig Boyce from Australia in the red helmet colour, with 1 more lap to go. Looks pretty set for Australia for 3 points if he can stay out of trouble. What a great start he's got, and surely, Craig, it's time now for you to move up to the Sunbright League in 1991. Ermolenko holds on to 2nd place. But Boyce it is who gets the 3 points for Australia. 2 to Sam Ermolenko and 1 for Jimmy Nilsson. And a good win for good old Craig Boyce. There he is from Australia. And what better way to pave the start of this 2nd staging of the World Team Cup, the 2nd leg, shall we say, than a good win for Australia in the red helmet colour. So there we are, the 3 points to him. That means that Australia move on to 26, Sweden are on 39, America 39, and Germany on 22. So it's very, very close between the 2 nations, Sweden and America, for that 1 place to go forward to the World Team Cup final. But Craig Boyce the winner of heat number 1. Heat number 2, and in this one in red for Australia is Lee Adams, blue for America, Rick Miller, white is Andre Pollen for Germany, and yellow and black is Per Jonsson for Sweden. Well, there we are, 39 points each for America and Sweden, and certainly the old Swedish captain Per Jonsson would desperately like to get 3 points in heat number 2. Of course, these riders meet in the World Final in a few days' time, 1 week to be precise. They're waiting now for the tapes to rise on heat number 2. Away they drive from the start, and the first one to show is Rick Miller in blue. Miller in blue from Lee Adams in red. And Per Jonsson didn't have the best of starts, so he's got all the work to do is Per Jonsson. He's in 3rd place at the moment, but of course, the rider there in blue, Rick Miller, races for Mariestad in the Swedish Elite League, so he knows every inch of this Mariestad circuit, sponsored heavily by Sonic Communications back there in England. 2nd place, Lee Adams. Still, Per Jonsson trying to find a way now, making up a challenge on Lee Adams. So this is going to be the battle line. Jonsson on the outside, tries to cut back under Lee Adams. My word, it's fast and furious action here in Mariestad. A good crowd watching, a well-prepared circuit with 1 more lap to go in heat number 2. Rick Miller not realising what's going on behind him. Lee Adams in red, fighting every inch of the way on this machine to keep Per Jonsson back in 3rd place. Jonsson now on the outside. Can he make up ground as he races the line? Miller wins. Adams holds on. Per Johnson has to be settled with third place, but it's Rick Miller from the US of A who holds on to get the 3 points. One of the nicest men in World Speedway. Second place to Lee Adams from Australia, and third place to Per Johnson. So there we see USA on 42, Sweden 40, Australia 28, and dear old Germany still on 22. But it's a good win for the rider there in blue, Rick Miller. He collects the 3 points from heat number 2. Heat number 3, and there we see the distinctive hairstyle of Henke Gustafsson in yellow and black. He's representing Sweden in this heat in heat number 4. The full lineup: Troy Butler red for Australia, Ronnie Corrie blue for the US of A, Klaus Laus is in white for Germany, and Henrik Gustafsson yellow and black for Sweden. So 2 points at the moment between the top 2 nations. Let's see what happens as the tapes rise on heat number 3. The starting marshals now happy, the green light goes on. And away they drive from the start. Who's going to be in pole position? It's good on Troy Butler for Australia. Who's there? Troy Butler and just Gustafsson dicing with Ronnie Corrie. Ronnie Corrie in blue. In second place, Gustafsson coming up the inside for a challenge, and Troy Butler just. But where you can throw a blanket, all 3 of them as 1 lap's gone. Troy Butler red, Ronnie Corrie in blue, and Henke Gustafsson now trying to cut underneath of Ronnie Corrie. All 3 of these riders are locked together. They can't afford to make a mistake. Troy Butler still, now Gustafsson trying the outside line with 2 laps gone. Gustafsson now trying the outside line, and Ronnie Corrie, Gustafsson's done it. Now he's making up ground on Troy Butler. And just look at this 20-year-old celebrated his birthday just 2 weeks ago with 1 more lap to go. It's Troy Butler red. Now, can Henke Gustafsson do anything down the back straight around the final 2 bends of heat number 3? Butler red, Gustafsson in yellow black. It's going to be a race to line. Who's going to get there? It's just Troy Butler that holds on. Gustafsson is in second place. Ronnie Corrie back in third. And what a great scrap between these 3 riders. All 3 deserve a pat on the back. It's Troy Butler who gets the 3 points. Henke Gustafsson 2 and Ronnie Corrie 1. My word, what a great battle, and congratulations to Troy Butler on keeping his nerve under tremendous pressure from Henrik Gustafsson. So there we see 42 points to Sweden, 43 to the US of A, 22 still to Germany, and 31 to good old Australia. That's the result after heat number 3.
I heat nummer 4, där kommer Moran. For Australian,
so heat number 4 next on the agenda, and there we see it red. Welcome return to the track for Todd Wiltshire, 4 weeks out. Nearly 5 weeks, should I say, with a broken collarbone. He's back into the thick of things for his country. Full lineup for heat number 4, Todd Wiltshire red. Kelly Moran is in blue for the USA. Hans Pringle in white for Germany. Peter Nolin, who's been recalled to the Swedish side at the expense of Dennis Lofquist, is in yellow and black. Peter Nolin, of course, the former World Under-21 champion. There we see the man who in 7 days' time makes his debut in the World Individual Speedway Final at Bradford's Odsal Stadium, Todd Wiltshire. And there Kelly Moran, one of the most extrovert riders in the world today. Tremendous ambassador for Speedway. A little bit loose and wild in his early days, but we can assure you now he's calmed down and settled down to Speedway the way it should be. So Kelly Moran is in blue, Todd Wiltshire on red, and throw in Peter Nolin in yellow-black, and we could have one hell of a scrap as the tapes rise on heat number 4. Peter Nolin certainly coming back to form with a bang with the Swindon Robins down in Wiltshire in the Sunbright League. Rain spell mid-season, but the last month has seen him race clear and a good average of getting near to the 7 points a meeting, which is good news for Peter. Starting marshal calling them all in. Todd Wiltshire the last one to come in. So, the starting marshal now walks away, the green light's on. And away they drive from the start, and the first to show, as predicted, was Todd Wiltshire, but Kelly Moran cuts underneath him, and so does Hans Prendl as well. Prendl is there as well, and so does Peter Nolin. Nolin cuts underneath Prendl with considerable ease. Then Todd Wiltshire trying to make ground on the German as well. 1 lap gone, and Todd Wiltshire's come through in the 3rd place. But it's Kelly Moran in pole position in the blue helmet colour. Peter Nolin 2nd, Todd Wiltshire 3rd, and Prendl back in 4th place, who makes an early start, early break for the Germans to try and get them off the mark here in Mariestad. All eyes on the pole positions, of course. It's America and Sweden, they're dicing for 1 and 2 positions. Australia, I think their main aim at the moment is to try and keep out of 4th place, which they're well clear at the moment. They certainly don't want to go down into Group B and face going to Hungary and Poland and the likes of that in 1991. But it's Kelly Moran who surely looks set for the 3 points. Kelly Moran collects a checker back, he wins heat number 4. Second place is Peter Nolin for Sweden. In third place for Australia is Super Todd Wiltshire. But Kelly Moran gets the 3 points, 2 for Peter Nolin and 1 for Todd Wiltshire. So there we see America yet again just getting a little bit of leeway over their nearest rivals. It's 46 now to the USA, 44 to Sweden, 32 to Australia and 22 to Germany. 2 points between the top two nations and still all the fights getting desperately close out there between these two teams. We'll have to wait to see surely until the end of heat 20 before we can see which nation goes through. Pardubice in Czechoslovakia. So heat number 5, Craig Boyce, Australia's in red. Blue is Rick Miller for America. White, Klaus Schlaus for Germany. And yellow-black, 2 on the trot for Peter Nolin. So this is the big one. Sweden want to get back into it. They're 2 points adrift of their nearest rivals at the moment. But Peter Nolin is the man with the responsibility to try and get them back over Rick Miller. Just watch out for the man in red, Craig Boyce, convincing winner of heat number 1. This is heat number 5. Miller pushes the tapes, which they quite can do in World Championship events, but certainly not in the British League. It is going to be the first to show. It's Craig Boyce on the outside in the red helmet colour. Boyce in red, but look at Peter Nolin with the best line down the back straight. Miller now coming through to second place. Miller and Boyce having a battle for second and third. Boyce it is with just initiative. Nolin in yellow-black. Tremendous second turn from Peter, holding the correct line on the inside as Craig Boyce shifted out. So coming up to complete 2 laps, Peter Nolin from Sweden, Craig Boyce from Australia, Rick Miller from America in that order, and that will do the Swedish humps a world of good and will bring them yet again level after heat number 5. The sun coming down in Mariestad, tremendous conditions on a well-prepared track. And it's going to be Peter Nolin surely who's going to bring the Swedes back into contention. Nolin it is, around the final 2 turns, still Craig Boyce in second place. It's Peter Nolin who gets the checker flag. Second place is Craig Boyce. In third place is Rick Miller, and the crowd showing their appreciation for a battler, and there's no doubt that Peter is one of those. So Peter Nolin gets the 3 points, 2 to Craig Boyce and 1 to Rick Miller, and there we see, just look how close it is. 5 heats gone. It's the US of A on 47, Sweden 47, Australia 34 and Germany on 22. That's after heat number 5. So heat number 6 and the eventful and spectacular Henrik Gustafsson coming out for Sweden in this one. Full lineup: Lee Adams red, Sam Ermolenko blue, Hans Pringle is in white, and Henrik Gustafsson is in yellow. Well, it's certainly nice to see good old Sam Ermolenko back in the saddle. You may recall he was tragically injured in a long track crash back in last July, broke nearly every bone in his body, poor old Sam. But he's been rebuilt. We have the technology we can rebuild, and Sam has been rebuilt. I'm glad he's back on the machine for the Wolverhampton Wolves in the Sunbright League. And of course, more importantly tonight, for the American squad. So Lee Adams red, Sam Ermolenko blue, Hans Pringle in white, and Henrik Gustafsson yellow-black. This is heat number 6. And away they drive from the start, and the first to show is Lee Adams in red, but just driving around the outside of him is Sam Ermolenko. Now all of a sudden Gustafsson coming around Lee Adams. Gustafsson and Lee Adams having battles for second and third place, but Gustafsson just with the best line. They're coming back up any ground with 1 lap gone on Sam Ermolenko. Sudden Sam as he's known in the Midlands. So much an important part of the USA test side. 2 laps gone, Sam Ermolenko leads. Second place, Henrik Gustafsson. Third place, Lee Adams. Hans Pringle tailed off in 4th position. But certainly Sam Ermolenko is looking very, very composed indeed. Sudden Sam. 3rd in the world, of course, in 85 and again in 87. But it's Sudden Sam who takes a checker flag. Sam Ermolenko wins. Henrik Gustafsson second, and Lee Adams back in 3rd place. So Sam Ermolenko puts the US of A back in 1st place with those 3 points. The USA now on 50, Sweden on 49, Australia 35, and Hans Pringel and the German side on 22. Still yet to score in this second leg of the World Team Cup semi-final. The Germans are no doubt enjoying themselves. So next on the agenda is heat number 7. We've got Troy Butler from Australia, he's in red. Kenny Moran from the USA, he's in blue. Tommy Dunker in white from Germany, and Per Jonsson from Sweden is in yellow and black. There, Kenny Moran, the last one to be pushed away, and looking over his shoulders, he invariably does, and thanks the pushers for their help in getting him started. 500cc machines, producing something like 65 brake horsepower, fixed gear, clutch, and throttle on the handlebars, no brakes. Go around bends of 180 degrees at something like 60 or 70 miles an hour. And my word, these brave riders deserve all the encouragement they can get. So this is heat number 7. Just 1 point to recall between America and Sweden. And Per Jonsson, of course, the Swedish captain, would desperately like to get his nation back into the thick of things in this particular heat. There's Per resting his clutch, just now coming to the line for heat number 7. Butler red, Moran blue, Dunker white, and Jonsson yellow and black. This is heat number 7. And the way they drive, and Jonsson gets a tremendous start from the inside gate number 1. It's Jonsson in pole position. Troy Butler there from Australia is with him. Butler is with Per Jonsson at the moment. Butler, has he got a good line on Per Jonsson? Kelly Moran back in third place, and just look at Butler go. Jonsson just, Butler second. Kelly Moran now third, coming to put pressure on Troy Butler. Per Jonsson just got his nose in front now and beginning to pull a little bit clear of Troy Butler in second place, but it was neck and neck for one complete lap. And then look at Kelly Moran putting pressure. And no doubt the Swedish crowd would love good old Troy Butler to hold it, Kelly Moran. But it would mean another point lost for the Americans. Sweden desperately would like to get through it now. All of a sudden, Tommy Dunker coming into the thick of things as well. One more lap to go in heat number 7. Per Jonsson well ahead of the pack. Still Troy Butler second, Kelly Moran third, Tommy Dunker fourth. Round the final 2 turns. Coming out to take the checker flag is Per Jonsson who wins. Second place, and a good win for him, was Troy Butler from Australia. And importantly for Sweden, it was Kelly Moran who was relegated to third place. So Per Jonsson gets the 3 points. 2 points go to Troy Butler from Australia. And just look how close that race actually was. And at this stage, it was Troy Butler who had the initiative down the back straight. All of a sudden, it was Per Jonsson lifts slightly, and just look at those 2 riders going into this turn neck and neck. Jonsson on the inside, Butler on the outside, and there just isn't any room between those 2, is there? Jonsson the first one to straighten up, but Butler's got the best line at this stage. Butler drives, but just hasn't got the room as Jonsson moves out to cover all angles. And for that moment onward, Jonsson had the race in his pocket. So Sweden now go in front for the first time in this meeting. It's Sweden 52, America 51, Australia on 37, and dear old Germany anchored on 22 points. So the crowd beginning to applaud as Sweden, host nation here in Mariestad, have just got their noses in front. Heat number 8 is next. Todd Wiltshire in red for Australia. Sean Moran, who's reserved for this meeting, and a little bit of a trump card. John Smith, the American, John Scott, should I say, the American team manager, playing his ace card. Sean Moran is reserved, which he's quite entitled to do. So Shuey, as he's known in the England League, where he races for the Bellevue Aces, he comes in heat number 8. Sean Moran is in blue. There we see Andre Bullen from Germany in white, just having some last-minute adjustments to his machine. And for Sweden, it's Jimmy Nilsson. So just as I say, the Swedes got their noses in front, and one question we do have to ask, and that is the venue for this one. It certainly does suit the American riders. They do like small circuits, and we have to ask whether the Swedish authorities would have been better putting this meeting in somewhere like Linköping, or in fact Kumla, or even Stockholm, where there's a bigger circuit and would give the Swedish boys just a little bit more room to manoeuvre. But they've flunked from Mariestad. We'll have to wait to see heat number 20 before we know whether they've proved to be correct or not. So there we are, the full lineup. Todd Wiltshire red, Sean Moran blue, Andre Bullen white, and Jimmy Nilsson in yellow and black. And this is heat number 8. stride from the start, and who's going to get there into that first turn? It's very, very close indeed between Todd Wiltshire red and Sean Moran in blue. Todd Wiltshire just look at Sean Moran drive around the outside. Sean Moran on the best line as he drives around turn 3 and 4. Coming up with 1 lap gone is Sean Moran leads for the USA. Todd Wiltshire second place, Jimmy Nielsen third. Todd Wiltshire had the drive on the first and second turn, but it was Sean Moran who drove into the third and fourth turn, round the outside, looks over his shoulder, sees that Todd Wiltshire is behind him. Still Jimmy Nielsen back in third place, which is not good news for the home fans. So the Americans could pull yet again just 1 point clear if they can hold this position at the moment. Sean Moran in blue, Todd Wiltshire red, and in yellow-black is Jimmy Nielsen. And it is the checker flag rises for Sean Moran, who wins and gets the 3 points. 2 points to Todd Wiltshire for Australia second, and Jimmy Nielsen gets the 1 point for Sweden. So that's the result of heat number 8, which puts the USA on 54, Sweden on 53, Australia on 39,
Result for
and Germany on 22. So there we are, plenty more action to come. Join us after the break.
Time 59.4. 59.4.
The good, the bad, the ugly. If it's powerful, sporting, and truly international, you'll see it here every week in Power Sports International. This week there's TVRs from Brands Hatch, rampaging Renault 5s from Snetterton, and Fiestas at Alton Park with a surprise finish. Saturday at 4 on Screensport.
A forum has always been the place to sort out differences. At the Great Western Forum, we do it with a difference. The best all head to Inglewood, LA for that KO quest. The glare of the spotlights. The roar of the crowd. Tonight on Screensport.
The US PGA Tour is more open and competitive this season than ever before. New champions appear from nowhere. Old heroes reinforce their legends. Screensport, in association with Max Fly Golf, follows the Tea Party coast to coast, north to south, as the PGA story unfolds. They'll be tucking them away at the $900,000 Greater Milwaukee Open. See rounds 3 and 4 tonight at 10:15 on Screensport.
Trying to tighten that tummy, struggling with ordinary sit-ups? Now work smarter with the Abdominizer, the intelligent alternative to sit-ups. Look, the Abdominizer targets the proper abdominal muscles, so each and every sit-up is made more effective. You can have a tonier tummy in weeks. Best of all, it's so simple. The unique rocker mechanism lets you rock your way to a firmer stomach. Look, ordinary sit-ups can torture your tailbone. It's not worth the pain.
I designed the Abdominizer to produce an automatic pelvic tilt, which helps to isolate the abdominal muscles and makes the exercise better for your lower back.
The curl works upper abdominals. Raise your knees and tighten lower abdominals too. The Abdominizer from only $14.95. The intelligent alternative to sit-ups. Get smart. Call now. Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Greece, Germany, Holland, Ireland, Norway, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK.
Welcome back to Mariestad in Sweden for this World Team Cup semi-final, second leg between host nation Sweden, America, Australia and Germany. Heat number 9, and we've got Craig Boyce for Australia in red, Ronnie Corrie for the US of A in blue, Hans Pringle in white for Germany, and Per Jonsson in yellow and black for Sweden in gate number 4. Just to recap, at the moment, the US of A with their noses in front, 54 points to America, 53 to Sweden, 39 to Australia, and 22 to Germany. And this is heat number 9. Green lights on, the bikes driving away, they drive from the start, and Ronnie Corrie gets a good one, but so does Per Jonsson on the outside. Per Jonsson it is as they come into the second turn. Ronnie Corrie second, and Craig Boyce third. Ronnie Corrie goes a little bit wide and Craig Boyce makes absolutely great and Boyce is through. Oh, this is good news indeed for the home country, Sweden, who are at the moment just trailing America, but Per Jonsson in pole position. Craig Boyce from Australia has now split the two leading countries, and Ronnie Corrie relegated to third place, with Hans Pringle back in fourth. So Per Jonsson, the Swedish national champion, national captain should I say, and four-time Swedish champion in pole position. Still Craig Boyce, who's really showing some tremendous form in second place. Ronnie Corrie still third, which would be a great result for Sweden if they can hold on to this one. Just 1 point between the sides before this race got underway, and if Jonsson can hold on to get the 3 points, which he does, Jonsson gets the 3 points, 2 to Craig Boyce and 1 to Ronnie Corrie, which yet again puts the swings and pendulums of this World Team Cup semi-final the opposite direction. And just look at that, Sweden now on 56, America on 55, Australia 41, and good old Germany still on 22, and they haven't scored a point all afternoon on 9 races, but just look at the top two. And as the tapes rose, it was Jonsson on the outside in gate number 4 who really drove into that first turn, and from the moment they came out of the second turn, the race was really a formality for the pole positions. It was going to be a question of whether Craig Boyce could make up ground on Ronnie Corrie, which we know he did. So heat number 10, Lee Adams there in red. Winter capture for the Swindon Robins from National League Pool, where of course Craig Boyce, his fellow team, make this evening, this racing. In blue, coming in for another reserve ride, is the American looking Sean Moran. Tactics by John Scott, the manager, quite rightly so, doing the biz for the USA team. He comes in blue, that's Sean Moran. Klaus Laus for Germany in white. And Jimmy Nielsen is in yellow and black for Sweden. So Sweden with their noses in front, just 1 point, 56 to 55. Lee Adams red, Sean Moran the blue, Klaus Laus white, and Jimmy Nielsen yellow back. And this is heat number 10. Starting marshal just asking Lee Adams to go into the tapes. He's now happy. The green light goes on now. The bikes rev, and the tapes, and away they drive. Who's going to be in there first? And it is Sean Moran in blue from America, who's there. Jimmy Nielsen in second place, Lee Adams third, and Klaus Laus back in fourth position. But Jimmy Nielsen is second for Sweden, which, well, isn't that bad. They'd have nearly left him to have beaten Sean Moran, but it really is an ace card, because Sean Moran is really in the top gear at the moment, because only last few days he's come through the Intercontinental final of the World Championship in Fieldset, Denmark, and is looking in pretty good form for Bellevue these days, who's won in the British League. Rides for Halstavik, and of course the Swedish League as well, so he's a busy old boy, he's good old shoey. But he's coming up for his second win if he can stay out of trouble. Sean Moran in blue, Jimmy Nielsen yellow black. And the final 2 turns of heat number 10. And for America, it's Sean Moran who takes a checker flag. Second place, Jimmy Nielsen. Third place for Australia is Lee Adams. So 3 points to Sean Moran, and 2 for Jimmy Nielsen, and 1 for Lee Adams. And that locks those scores together. Just look at it. America and Sweden now on 58 points. Australia on 42 and Germany on 22. So just those two nations are inseparable in this second leg of this World Team Cup semi-final. And just to recap, just one nation only will go forward to Czechoslovakia in Pardubice on Saturday, September the 16th. For the World Team Cup final, they line up against host nation Czechoslovakia, world champions, of course, England and Denmark in that World Team Cup final meeting. You can see exclusively here on Screensport. So heat number 11 is next. Troy Butler red for Australia. Sam Vermalenko there, Sam. In blue for America. In white is Andrei Pullen for Germany. And Peter Nolin in yellow and black for Sweden. While still 10 heats of superb speedway to go, before we know which country it is we'll go through. Sutton Sam comes in to make another practice start. So essential to get that clutch warm before the boats go up to that start. Sam comes in to gate number 1. Gate 2 is Andre Pullen. Gate 3, Troy Butler. Gate 4, Peter Nolly. Troy Butler there resting the clutch. Doesn't want it to get too hot as he waits for the other riders to do their traditional piece of guarding at the start. Sergeant Roger now saying, please, would you come in? We want to get heat number 11 underway. The last one is now Peter Nolleen, who's coming in now. All 4 riders are there. The green light goes on. The bikes rev. And away they go. And the first one to show is Samuel left from gate number 1. Samuel Malenko, oh my word, Peter Nolleen tries to drive around the outside. A brave move, but he's lost space, and Troy Butler's now come through as well. And so is Andre Pullen, but Nolleen's back under Andre Pullen. It's a very, very brave ride indeed for Peter Nolleen. But does it cost him points? Because Sam Erlenko is in pole position. And between Nolleen and Ermolenko is Troy Butler, which is spoiling things at the moment for the Swedish camp. Sam Ermolenko first, Troy Butler second. Peter Nolleen now coming up the inside of Troy Butler. Superbly prepared circuit here at Mariestad, as it always is when the cameras of Scrensport come to. Now that's Nolleen's making ground. One more lap to go in heat number 11. Butler's got to watch his every move because Peter Nolleen is hot in pursuit. Round the final 2 turns, it's going to be a win for Sam Ermolenko. Gets the chicken flag down, but it's a race for second and third. It's just Troy Butler who holds on. So 3 points to Sam Ermolenko in pole position, 2 points to Troy Butler, and 1 to Peter Nolleen, who really tried all the way there, did Peter. Bad luck to him, but just look at the score chart now. The good old Americans are back in front again. 61 to the USA, 59 to Sweden, 44 to Australia, and 22 to Germany. And there we see the team manager of Sweden, Bo Verbrand, having a quick word with Henrik Gustafsson as he comes up to take his part in heat number 12. So the full lineup for heat number 12 in red for Australia. Gate number 4 is Todd Wiltshire. In blue, in gate 2 for the US of A is Rick Miller. In white, in gate 3 from Germany, Tommy Dunker. And in yellow and black, in gate 1 from Sweden, Henrik Gustafsson. That's the lineup for heat number 12. Henka Gustafsson on the back of his leathers. Henka makes his debut in the World Speedway Final in a few days' time. We wish him the best of luck. One of the greatest prospects in the sport today. And there's yet another one who's setting the sights on the World Final appearance next weekend at Bradford's Oslo Stadium. Todd Wiltshire doing so well with the Red in 4X races in the Sunbike League. And this is heat number 12. Clutch is dropped by Henrik Gustafsson, and who's going to get into that first turn in front? It's Henrik Gustafsson and Todd Wiltshire. Wiltshire on the outside, Gustafsson on the inside, driving down to the 3rd and 4th turn, and it's just Gustafsson in pole position now, with a bit of leeway between him and, of course, Todd Wiltshire and Rick Miller now coming back into the reckoning. But this is good news indeed for Sweden, because Rick Miller from the USA is back in 3rd place. But now comes through to 1st place is Todd Wiltshire. Henrik Gustafsson was caught sleeping a little bit, but Gustafsson comes back on Wiltshire. And my word, what a race in heat number 12. Wiltshire was there, then it was Gustafsson, then Wiltshire, then Gustafsson, and still these two are dicing for the lead in heat number 12. Rick Miller relegated to 3rd place with 1 more lap to go. Henrik Gustafsson first, Todd Wiltshire second, Rick Miller 3rd. And these Swedish crowd are cheering him on, and also cheering on the rider in red, Todd Wiltshire as well. Ready to take the checker flag. It's a win for Henrik Gustafsson who gets there. Todd Wiltshire is second, and in 3rd place is Rick Miller, so yet another good result for Sweden. Gustafsson gets the 3 points, 2 to Wiltshire and 1 to Rick Miller. And just look at the score chart again. Sweden on 62, America on 62, I'll get it out. America 62, Sweden 62, Australia on 46, and good old Germany still anchored on 22. But just look at these two in action. Todd Wiltshire in red, Henrik Gustafsson in yellow and black. At this stage, there's not a lot between them. Gets very, very close out there. Wiltshire in red, Henrik Gustafsson in yellow. But at that stage, Wiltshire drifts out. Gustafsson then picks up momentum. And more speedway in the conclusion of this championship comes after a break.
Has this ever happened to you? What a mess. This shirt and blouse have had it. Or have they? Now, there's a simple way to deal with the most difficult stains. DD7. A super concentrated formula that removes stains but won't harm fabrics. Now where's the ink? Delicate silk, incredibly clean. Tar, iodine, blood, rust. DD7 gets rid of them all. Dull, grey-net curtains restored to a like-new whiteness thanks to a soak in DD7. Imagine this is your washing machine. Dye from a red sock, ink, iodine. A little DD7 and goodbye to unwanted stains. Order DD7 today from only £6.95. Or we'll double your order for only £3 more. That's 2 tubes from only £9.95. Call your local number on screen now. Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Greece, Germany, Holland, Ireland, Norway, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK.
Get a pen and paper ready. You can order the following product by phone. Introducing Heartbreaker, 80 everlasting love songs from Percy Sledge and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Heartbreaker, a stunning collection of timeless love songs on 5 albums, 5 cassettes or 4 compact discs with Ben E. King, Roy Orbison, Pat Boone, Dean Martin, The Platters, Neil Sedaka and many, many more.
Pretender.
Heartbreaker, 80 beautiful songs to cherish. Order your copy by phone now.
Darling, I love you.
Heartbreaker comes with a no-risk money-back guarantee. Please allow 21 days for delivery. Heartbreaker, order your copy by phone now.
Welcome back to Mariestad in Sweden for the conclusion of this World Team Cup semi-final second leg. Still all to race for as we go into heat number 13, the interval now over. In this one we've got Stephen Davies coming in for a reserve ride for Australian Red. In blue, also a reserve ride for Sean Moran, crafty old John Scott, the American team manager. In white is Tommy Dunker from Germany, and in yellow-black, Peter Nolin from Sweden. So this is heat number 13. They go from the start, and the first one to show his elbows flying is Peter Nolin and Sean Moran. Sean Moran in blue, Peter Nolin in second place in yellow-black. Stephen Davies in third for Australia. But as the tapes rose into 2 inside gates 1 and 2 with Nolin on the inside and Sean Moran in gate 2 as they went into the first turn together. Elbows were going out, but it was Sean Moran who eventually got his nose in front. The sun still bakes down here in Mariestad. Picturesque setting for Swedish Elite League action, may recall earlier on Scrensport. This Sean Moran in blue will clear the pack with Peter Nolin second and Stephen Davies for Australia third with 1 more lap to go. This moment in time, of course, it's locked together, 62 points apiece between these countries, so this will put the Americans just 1 in front if they can hold on, and I'm sure Sean will do just that. Coming around the final 2 bends, and to take the checker flag is Sean Moran that wins. Peter Nolin is in second place. A long, long way back to Stephen Davies, who's in third. So 3 points to Sean Moran, 2 to Peter Nolin, and 1 to Stephen Davies. And that just gives the Americans yet again the initiative in this World Team Cup semi-final. America on 65, Sweden 64, Australia 47, and Germany on 22. That's after heat number 13. So heat 14, Craig Boyce, red. In gate number 1, Australia. Henrik Gustafsson, yellow. Gate 2, Sweden. Andre Pullen, white. Germany, gate 3. And Kelly Moran, yellow-black. Coming in. Sorry, Kelly Moran in blue. In gate number 4, of course, for America. This is heat number 14. With just 1 point separating the top 2 clubs. Of course, America 65, Sweden 64. And this is heat number 14. Well, the inside gate 1 and gate 4 have been very profitable here in Mariestad in this one. We'll just have to wait and see whether Craig Boyce or Kelly Moran gets the initiative in this one. And away they drive from from the start, and it is the red helmet colour of Craig Boyce who's first to show. And look at Kelly Moran coming up on Henrik Gustafsson. Henrik Gustafsson in yellow and black. Now can he make up any ground on Craig Boyce? And Kelly Moran in third place. Now for his all action, Craig Boyce lifts. Henrik Gustafsson tries to make up ground, one lap gone. Kelly Moran now is trying to put pressure on Henrik Gustafsson. My word, you can throw a blanket over these three. Craig Boyce is riding the race of his life, and what a great prospect he is. Boyce in red, Gustafsson yellow. Kelly Moran back in third place. Andre Pullen fourth. But if Boyce could hold on to this one, what a great scalp it will be for him. Surely destined for better things in terms of league status in 1991, and that's no disrespect to Paul Pirates. One more lap to go. Craig Boyce red, Henrik Gustafsson yellow, Kelly Moran still in third place. This will bring the scores level again between Sweden, if you know it all. Boyce gets the checker flag, Gustafsson is in second place, and Kelly Moran relegated to third. So 3 points to Australia, 2 points to Sweden, and 1 point to America. And my word, this really is getting a hell of a battle between these two nations. Just look at it. America on 66, Sweden on 66, Australia 50, and Germany still on 22. So with 6 more heats to go, it's still all to ride for a place in that World Team Cup final on September the 16th. So heat 15, Troy Butler red, Australia, Sean Moran blue, America, Hans Pringle white, Germany, and Jimmy Nelson yellow and black for Sweden is the way they drive, and Jimmy Nelson gets a good start. So does Sean Moran, and it's Sean Moran just with the best line around the outside of Jimmy Nelson. Still Nelson second place. Third is Troy Butler for Australia, and Hans Brindle back in fourth place. But Sean Moran yet again coming out for a reserve out. He looks over his shoulder, he sees that Jimmy Nelson is not that far behind on this very, very fast and furious MARIESTAD circuit. In the blue helmet colour of Sean Moran for America in pole position. And this yet again will just give the old Americans the nose in front in the closing stages with 1 more lap to go. And this man, Sean Moran, is proving the trump card as we thought he would be. Down the back straight for the final time. There's Jimmy Nelson still in second place. But it's going to be a win for the rider in blue. It's Sean Moran who takes the checker flag. Jimmy Nelson second, and Troy Butler third. So that victory gives Sean Moran 3 points, 2 for Jimmy Nelson in second, and 1 for Troy Butler back in third. So let's just take a look at the old scoreboard now, as they say.
Troy Butler, Australia.
America 69, Sweden 68, Australia 51, and Germany on 22, still anchored at the bottom. But just 1 point between these two nations, America and Sweden, as we go into the last 5 heats of this World Team Cup semi-final second leg for MARIESTAD in Sweden. So heat number 16, Todd Wiltshire in red, gate 1 for Australia. Per Jonsson, gate 2, yellow and black for Sweden. Sam Ermolenko in blue in gate 3, America. And Klaus Laus, yellow and black, gate 4 in white. Sorry, should I say, for Germany. That's the lineup for heat number 16. The way they drive from the start, and yet again it's Todd Wiltshire got the drive. Wiltshire it is in first position, but just look at Sam Ermolenko and Per Jonsson as well. My word, all of them down the back straight. But it's Sam Ermolenko who's drove round the pack what will look like considerable ease. My word, Sam Ermolenko's done it from the back. It was so hectic on that first and second turn. Todd Wiltshire made the start. Jonsson drove around one side of him. Sudden Sam drove around the other. But the sad news for Sweden is that Todd Wiltshire is between Sam Ermolenko and Per Jonsson. No disrespect to Todd Wiltshire, but the Swedes would dearly love Per Jonsson to come through. Per Jonsson trying to make up ground as Todd Wiltshire goes awfully wide with 1 more lap to go. Sam Ermolenko leads. Todd Wiltshire still second. Per Jonsson third. Round the final 2 bends of heat number 16. And take the checker flag. It's going to be a win for Sam Ermolenko gets there. Todd Wiltshire in second place. Per Jonsson relegated to third. So Sudden Sam gets the 3 points for America. 2 points for Australia in second place. And Per Jonsson gets a 1 point in third position. There we see the board. 72 points now to America, 69 to Sweden, 53 to Australia, 22 points to Germany, and all of a sudden America got 3 points between them and Sweden. And is that the breathing space they require with just 4 heats to go? This is heat number 17. Lee Adams in red, Kelly Moran blue, Hans Pringle white, and Jimmy Nielsen yellow and black as they take tries on heat number 17. And the first one to show is Lee Adams, and Jimmy Nielsen drives around the outside of it. Lee Adams made the start, but Jimmy Nielsen is there, and Kelly Moran is relegated to third place. So yet again, the Swedes come bouncing back into things with one lap gone in heat number 17. Jimmy Nielsen in pole position, Lee Adams second. Now can Lee Adams hold out Kelly Moran? That would do the Swedes a world of good. The Swedes no doubt will be willing him on with 2 laps gone. Jimmy Nielsen with 14 on his back, doing his country proud at the moment. Scored 13 points in the first leg in Ulcher, Germany, of this World Team Cup semi-final. But Jimmy Nielsen looks as though he's got this one in the bag if he can stay in the trouble. Still it is. Lee Adams has got it. Jimmy Nielsen wins. Lee Adams holds on to second place, and Kelly Moran relegated to third. So Jimmy Nielsen gets the 3 points, and that's good news for Sweden. 2, of course, to Lee Adams, and 1 for Kelly Moran. So now let's look at that. America on 73, Sweden on 72, Australia 55, and Germany on 22. So just 1 point between the two nations, with still 3 heats to go. And can the Swedes come back even further? Let's see now as we go into heat number 18. So heat number 18, and Stephen Davies comes out for a reserve ride for Australia in red. He comes out, as I say, in red. Peter Norlin is in yellow for Sweden. Andre Pullen for Germany is in white. He goes into gate number 2. And Rick Miller represents America in the inside gate, gate number 1. So Miller, gate 1, Pullen, gate 2, Norlin, gate 3, and Stephen Davies in red in gate 4. This is heat number 18. And the way they drive from the start, oh my word, it's very close. Rick Miller's there, so is Peter Norlin. Rick Miller in pole position at the moment. Rick Miller in pole position. Oh my word, and my word, the rider Andre Pullen very nearly comes down. But Rick Miller, of course, rides for Mariestad, and he's doing good for America at the moment, but can't Peter Norlin make up any ground? Still Rick Miller holding on. Peter Norlin, oh my word, Miller gets into all sorts of trouble, and the crowd go crazy as Peter Norlin comes through. We'll have to wait and see just what happened to Rick Miller, but he got into some sort of difficulty, locked up, and through come Peter Norlin and said, "Thank you very much, sir, but I'm coming through." So Peter Norlin with 1 more lap to go in pole position. Rick Miller still second. Stephen Davies third. The final 2 bends of an eventful heat number 18. But it's going to be Peter Norlin for Sweden who gets the checker flag. It's Norlin that wins. Rick Miller in second place. Stephen Davies is third. So the Eskilstuna Cowboy gets the 3 points for Sweden, 2 to Rick Miller for America, and 1 for Stephen Davies from Australia. Just look at that, 2 more heats to go, and it's all locked together. Here we see Rick Miller locks up terribly, and through comes Peter Norlin to take it. Congratulations to Peter, and the crowd go absolutely crazy. So just 2 more heats to go in this World Team Cup semi-final second leg. 75 points apiece between Sweden and America, and Sean Moran coming out for yet another outing, and this could conclude him on a 15-point maximum if he wins this one. Sean Moran in blue, Troy Butler red, Per Jonsson yellow, and Tommy Dunker in white. And this is heat number 19. Away they drive from the start. Who's going to get the line? Per Jonsson and Sean Moran as expected, but it's Sean Moran who drives around Jonsson. Sean Moran down the backstage. Of course, these two have got a big date in a week's time in the World Individual Speedway Final, which you can see exclusively and live here on Screensport. But it's Sean Moran blue, Per Jonsson in yellow and black, and Troy Butler in red for Australia. But this will give the good old Americans a 1 point lead with 2 laps gone if they can hold on. And all eyes will be on heat number 20. And who would have thought that these 2 rounds would have come down to a sudden death race in heat number 20 to see who goes through to Pardubice in Czechoslovakia on Sunday, September the 16th. So there we go, is Shomran in blue, with his nose in front from Per Jonsson in yellow and black. And it looks as though Shuey, as he's known in the Sunbright League, is going to get the 3 points he does. Shomran wins, Per Jonsson in second place, Troy Butler third. So Shuey completes what has been a considerable good afternoon for him. A 15-point maximum from reserve. He wins. 2 points for Per Jonsson, 1 for Troy Butler. Let's look at the old scoreboard. And we'll see that the scores are just 1 point to the advantage of the USA. It's 78 to them, 77 to Sweden, 57 to Australia, and 22 still for Germany, who haven't got a point all afternoon. So all eyes now on heat number 20 and the climax to this semi-final. So heat number 20, and what an important race for this very man in yellow and black. Just celebrated his birthday 2 weeks ago, Henrik Gustafsson. He's in yellow and black on gate number 1. He's got to win to force a run-off if Sam Erlenko drops a point to him and finishes in second place. And just throw in Craig Boyce, who's been very, very impressive indeed throughout the course of this World Team Cup semi-final. And just recap, it's only one country that goes through. And a meeting you can see exclusively here on Screensport. As always, whether it's ice or whether it's shale, the cameraman of Screensport will bring you the best possible coverage. And there he is, the man with all eyes on him at the moment, Henrik Gustafsson. And what just must be going through his mind. He's got a very important date in a week's time with that World Individual Speedway final. And at just 20 years of age, surely the world is at his feet. But this is the vital moment for him. Can he beat Sam Erlenko? As the green light goes on and they race from the start. And it's going to be a Dyson. Just look how close it is. It's Sam Erlenko though, who's got his nose in front. Sam Erlenko and Gustafsson is back in third place, which is not good news for Sweden. Great Boyce is in second place. And it looks at just a little Erlenko looking over his shoulders. The old dots is beyond him. Erlenko in blue. And Henrik Gustafsson now coming up and challenge on. Great Boyce and Gustafsson is through to second place. And the crowd here at MARIESTAD are going wild. 2 laps gone and can Gustafsson mount a challenge on Sam Erlenko. Back comes Craig Boyce. It's all action and Boyce is back to second place. Boyce and Gustafsson having one hell of a battle for second and third place. 1 more lap to go in heat number 20. And if Sam Erlenko can stay out of trouble, it will be America that goes through to Pardubice on Sunday, September the 16th for that World Team Cup final. And as they race out, just look at Gustafsson making up ground. Oh my word, what action in heat number 20. We'll have to wait to see what the referee says, but there's no doubt about the winner. It's Sam Erlenko from America, and that result means they go through to the World Team Cup final. Craig Boyce has got the verdict for the referee. Henrik Gustafsson finishes in third place, and just look how close it was. America finishing on 81 points, and Sam Erlenko playing to the gallery with a wheelie. Sweden finishing on 79, Australia 58, and Germany finishing where they started this second leg on 22. So there we go, what goes down to the pitch now to have the verdicts. 2 very excited people, the team manager and that triumphant reserve from the American camp.
It was a good, hard meeting. Somebody had to come out on top. Everybody rode very well. And I think tactically, I got used pretty good. Things went very well for myself today.
Yeah.
But all in all, it was a very close meeting altogether. It wasn't one early on in the meeting, but it came down to a hard fight.
Yeah. I mean, your use, John, of Sean was pretty clever. Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, as Shuey said, that it's a team effort all the way around, from the top to the bottom, and everybody wants to help the team. Nobody minds dropping out. And we had a long meeting yesterday to plot our tactics and our strategy, and our tactics today paid off in the hands of this brilliant fellow.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the USA, who now go forward, of course, to that World Team Cup final. Sam Ermolenko scoring 14 this evening, Rick Miller 7, Kelly Moran 6, Ronnie Corrie 2, and just look at that triumphant reserve. Sean Moran a 15-point maximum in their total of 81 points. Sweden live to fight another day, and well, we have to ask ourselves, they'll be sadly missed in Czechoslovakia. We have to say whether Czechoslovakia are really strong enough in this world-class field. Per Jonsson scoring 10, Jimmy Nielsen 9, Henrik Gustafsson and Peter Nollin both scoring 11 points. Australia doing exceptionally well. They still qualify for Group A next season, so they've avoided the drop, which is the main thing. Todd Wiltshire 7, Troy Butler 9, Lee Adams 6, Craig Boyce 11, very impressive indeed, and Stevie Davis at reserve 2 points. And well, what can we say about 9, 10, 11 and 12? Klaus Laus, Hans Pringle, Andre Pullen and Tommy Dunker. Thanks for turning up, chaps. So there we are, it's America who go forward to the World Team Cup final on Sunday, September the 16th, when the Screensport cameras will be bringing you exclusive pictures of that event. Until then, it's Clive Fisher on behalf of Tommy Rander and Screensport saying goodbye from Mariestad.
Nu letar man för fullt bland blommor och blad och andra presenter som också ska delas ut naturligtvis. Till Busse som ska ha blommor.